here we're looking at the third octet again, but just touch some of the tricks or some of the tricks to solve subnetting problem. The third octet, I'll go a little bit faster on this one. So the third octet here, our target IP octet is 253. We have a /21. So looking at your cheat sheet, a /21, that is the third octet that puts you under the group of the group size 8. So you're going in increments of 8. But remember, your target IP octet is 253. So if you have to do increments of 8, it might take you forever. So you can go ahead and do 0, 8. You can do that if you want. But if to just get that pretty quick, you could multiply that by 10. You multiply that by 10, you already have 80. So you have 80. So you can go ahead and multiply that by 2, by 3, by 4. So if you multiply 80 by 2, that gives you 160. You multiply that by 3, that gives you 240. And you see that you've already gone past 235. You've already gone past 235, so you don't need to keep going. So you multiply 80 by 3, that gives you 240. So you can stop right there. Now, you know you're going in increments of 8. You're going in increments of your group size, which is 8. So if you've gotten to 240, which is past 235, you can go back, you can subtract 8 from that, and that gives you 232. And your 235 falls between those two values, between 232 and 240. Now, with those two values, you can get your network ID and you can get your next network. So with your network ID, which will be the address before your target IP, so you get 10.4.232.0. And your next network is 10.4.240.0. Remember, we're dealing in the third octet. We're dealing in the third octet. For your number of IP addresses, you have a /21. So you can do 32 minus 21, which is 2 raised to the power of 11, and that gives you this. The number of usable IP addresses is this minus 2, which gives you this. Now from a /21, your CIDR is, your subnet mask is 248. So in the third octet, you have a 255.255.248, third octet. So the fourth bit is 0, so you have a .0. So from here we have our next network. We have our network ID attributes. Broadcast IP is the last IP for the next network. Remember, if this is 0 and this is this, so to get to this one, that means we had a 256 and a 239 for this to become 240 and a 0. As such, we do not put a 256 on our network. So as such, our broadcast IP is 10.4.239.255. And our first host is 1 plus the network ID, which is this plus 1. So we get 10.4.232.1. And our last host is the broadcast IP minus 1. So we get 10.4.239.254.